All right, man, another day, which obviously means I have more free picks for you. Today is going to be NBA Sunday. We're going to try to hit. We're going to try to make a lot of money. In our last video, we, of course, went 2 for 3. Hopefully, you tailed these with straights. We had Jalen Green under rebounds at 4.5. Keon Johnson under points plus assists. That barely didn't hit. He ended up scoring a point with like 30 seconds left, which barely put him over. And then LeBron James just cruised over his 26.5. I told y'all without AD, this guy is a beast. And he went out there and did it against the Knicks and was the main reason why they were able to win. So 2 and 3 in our last video. Over our last 34 bets, we're 24 and 10 with a win percentage of 70.6. I don't sell any VIP right now. I'm just trying to prove to y'all that my picks win, and maybe later on we'll get into that, but right now I just want to prove that my picks win. I'm going to keep giving them out for completely free. So if you enjoy that, all I ask is you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the first pick. All right, so let's go over here and take a look. The first pick that I'm going to be going with is that guy Malik Beasley at 14.5 or at 13.5 to go over his points. As you can see, it's quite a big difference from the 13.5 line to the 14.5 line, but I still love it, and I'm going to show you a few reasons why. So first off, you got to realize that in this game, Jaden Ivey is not going to be playing, and when Jaden Ivey doesn't play, Malik Beasley simply plays a lot better. He has hit this over at a 72.2% rate at the 14.5 line when Jaden Ivey doesn't play. And then if you take the 13.5 line, of course it raises even more. And that's really all I need to see to make me extremely confident in this pick. But to go on top of that, he's of course going to be playing the Bulls. And the Bulls, as you can see right here, have the 3rd fastest pace. So he's going to get the ball in his hands more often than not. He's going to have more opportunities to score points. They have the 25th defensive rating. So if you want to go ahead and check what Malik Beasley does when Jaden Ivey's out and he plays a bottom 10 defense, you're going to see pretty quickly that his percentage goes up to 80%, which is obviously really, really good. So that's the first 2 reasons why I like this. The third reason that I like it a lot is when you scroll down and you take a look at similar players to Malik Beasley, you see that they're also hitting at a really good rate against the Bulls, a 64% rate to be exact. In 7 out of 11 games where similar players played against the Bulls, they went over their points mark, which is really good. And the matchup against the Bulls is just really good overall because Malik Beasley scores 56% of his points in above the break threes. And as you can see right here, the Bulls have the 23rd ranked defense against that. So like I said, that's a great matchup. He's going to have opportunities to shoot threes, and if this guy has opportunities to make threes, he's obviously going to score more points, and that is the biggest reason why I think this is going to hit. He's already been killing this over all year long. Even without all of these filters, he's hitting at a 73% rate at 13.5 and over 60% at 14.5. So even without the filters, I still like this picks over, especially against the Bulls. But when you add Jaden Ivey to it, you can't deny that that makes it even better. And that's why this right here is my first official pick. I think it's a banger. I think it's going to hit, especially when you add to it that he's projected to play 25 minutes in this game. And if you look at what he does without Jaden Ivey and when he plays 20 plus minutes in a game, he's hitting at a 73.3% rate without all those other filters. And that right there shows how consistent he is as long as he gets his playing time. And I really think he's going to. Considering the spread's only 5, this game should be pretty close, so I'm taking this over all day long. So that's my first pick. For the second pick, we're going to go over to the 76ers game, and we're going to take a look at that guy Kelly Oubre and his points, and I'm going to be taking an under here at this line at 16.5. I honestly think that this line might fall down to 15.5 or even 14.5 because I really like this under here, and it's simply because on the season he's averaging well under this mark at 14.4 a game, and in his last 30 he's only hit it 10 times, which already makes me pretty confident in this pick going under. Now what you have to take into consideration though is that in this game we're not going to see Joel Embiid, and we're also not going to see Paul George, which should make him score a little bit more, and as you can see, it does. He's hitting his over at a 41.2% rate, but even at that, he's still well below 50% at hitting this over. And when you add to all of that he's playing the Celtics, who have a great defense, and he barely scored any points against them last time, they're not only a good matchup, but they've also shown previously that they can shut this guy down and not allow him to score a lot of points. It's always good to see that a player doesn't do something against a team, and right here we see that. And then to go on top of that, just to explain the matchup a little bit better, to make you a little bit more confident in it, the Celtics have a top 5 defensive rating, and if you want to add a top 5 defense or a top 10 defense and see how he plays against that, you're going to see that he's hitting at just a 23.5% rate, which is obviously extremely low. And then also what I love even more about this is the way that Kelly Oubre plays is that he loves to score his points being a spot up, he loves to score his points in transition, and he also loves to get his points from free throws. And as you can see right here, his top 3 ways of scoring, the Celtics are all really good at stopping that. Top 3 in stopping spot up shooters, top 10 in stopping scoring in transition, and then once again, top 3 again in not allowing many free throws. So that's really promising. And then to just go on top of that and make it that much better, against small forwards, the Celtics allow the 5th least amount of points in the entire league. So that just adds on to it not being a good matchup. And the fact that he only scored 4 the last time makes me extremely confident in this. And I really do think he's going to hit this under quite easily. I don't even know if he's going to score 12 or 13 points. I would probably put him at somewhere around 10. And that's why I think this line probably comes down a little bit over time. So that's going to be my second official pick. And then my last pick is going to be in the last game of the night on Sunday. We're going to take a look at that guy, Jaylen Wells. And we're going to look at his points plus assists. When you look at this, obviously you can see he's hitting at over a 60% rate in his last 30 games, and that's one of the reasons why I'm going to be taking his over here. But to go along with that, you also got to take into consideration that Marcus Smart isn't playing, and just like I've said in previous videos, injuries are a huge way to find value, and right here you're going to see when Marcus Smart doesn't play, he hits this line a lot more consistently, and with what's on the screen here, he's averaging almost 15 points a game, which is well over this 12.5 mark. So that's really good to see, of course. And then when you add to that this guy is projected to play 27 minutes in this game, you're going to see that if you add the minutes into the equation, and if you make it to where he plays 22 to maybe, let's say, 30 minutes, so put it in that range, he's hitting at an even higher rate at 73.3%, and I do think he's going to play his full minutes because the spread is close. It's just a 4.5 spread, and I do think that this game is going to come down towards the end. At most, maybe a 10-point game, which should leave him in for the majority of it. Now, to go along with this is also a really good matchup for Jaylen Wells, considering similar players to him are hitting their over at a 53% rate. And Jaylen Wells scores 40% of his points as a spot-up shooter. The Bucks are 20th worst at stopping that. He scores 26% of his points in transition. The Bucks are 22nd worst at stopping that. And he scores his 3rd most points using free throws, and the Bucks are 13th in stopping that. So it's a really good matchup. And if you head over here and we just take a look at that guy, Jaylen Wells, you're going to see that the Bucks, while yeah, they have a good defense overall, you can see they're 12th in points allowed, they're 9th in assists allowed. If you go over to small forwards, everything changes. They're bottom 4 in points allowed, and they're 17th in assists allowed, and that right there alone should give you a lot of confidence in this pick, and that's why I like it so much. It's a good matchup. He played the Bucks not too long ago. I didn't even mention that. He played the Bucks not too long ago, and he went over this mark with ease, and I really do think it's because it's a good matchup, like I said, and if he just gets 20-plus minutes in this game like he should hit this over pretty easily, and that's going to be my 3rd and final pick. I like all of these picks a lot. I gave a lot of good reasonings for them. If you want to recap real quick, we can take a look here. Malik Beasley over points at 13.5. Love that one. Kelly Oubre under 16.5 points. Love that one as well. And then, once again, that guy Jaylen Wells to go over points plus assists at this line of 12.5. I think these are all easy hits. I'm hoping that we can sweep. If not, hopefully we at least go 2 for 3. That'll keep our run going pretty well. I'm super confident in all these. If you enjoyed it, if you like my free pick videos, you like the reasonings that I give, feel free to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. I'd really, really appreciate it. And until next time, let's all go print some money.